Hey Max, congrats on making it to the school holidays, guys. Good job. I know this has been a really difficult term for lots of you guys, so well done doing the hard work of school at home. Guys, why don't you say thanks to your parents today for the way that they have helped you with that, for the ways that they've continued to care for you over this really difficult period. Say thanks to them today. Guys, we've had a weird term together, haven't we? We started off in person, looking at the book of Jonah. Remember we pulled out that map when God tells Jonah to go this way and he runs that way? Remember we did all those cool drawings when we talked about the storm and the sailors and the sea creature that came to rescue Jonah from the ocean? But then we went on camp, which was awesome. We got to spend that time together as we looked at Ephesians. And then we were trying to memorize that verse of Ephesians 2, verses 4 and 5. And we kept doing that together when we were in lockdown over the weeks, the next couple of weeks. How are you going with your memorization of that theme verse? And are you still enjoying wearing your youth hoodie? Hopefully it's had a few washes by now. If not, pop it in the laundry. And then we continued on in Jonah through these videos, and as we played games together as well in lockdown, we took a look at the next parts of the story of Jonah. We heard about Jonah's fish prayers, about his new beginning when God asks him again to go to Nineveh, and about Jonah's pretty poor attempt at sending God's message to the Ninevites. We looked at the responses of the Ninevites and of God to their repentance. And then last week, we looked at Jonah's temper tantrum as he gets angry at God for being kind and gracious to all people, not just to Jonah's friends. Today, we're going to bring all of that together and have 4 tasks for you to do. 4 things that will help us capture this story and think about what it means for us. So the first one is watch. I want to get you guys to watch the Bible Project video about Jonah. It has a really good summary of all of the things that we've been talking about this term. So I'll have the link a little bit later down in this playlist. So watch that today. Watch the Bible Project video on Jonah. Secondly, I want you to draw. I want you to draw your own comic strip version of Jonah. So as we look at this story, and you'll see a kind of example of it in the Bible Project video, why don't you draw out the storyline? What has happened? Make it like a comic. And then, finally, when we can be back in person for Max, bring it that first week, and we'll stick them up on the wall in the Max room. So, draw a comic strip version of the book of Jonah. That's 2, not 1, 2. So watch, draw, and then thirdly, have a think. As you're doing those things, think about what God is asking of you in this story. I want you to pay particular attention to the last line of the book. Have a look at the question there. I think that's one of the key questions of the entire story. Have a think about that key question. And ask also, what does God have for us from this story? What have you learnt? What have you learnt about who God is? And what have you learnt about the things that we should care about as God's people? What difference is that going to make for your life? And then 4th and finally, pray. Talk to God about the things that He's taught you. Ask Him to soften your heart that you might love the things that He loves as well. That you might love the people that He loves as well. That we might be people who are obedient when God asks us to do things. So friends, as we bring Jonah to a close, those are my 4 tasks for you. Watch, draw, think, and pray. Happy holidays, and hopefully we'll get to see each other in person very soon.